I mean, Yelp is all about local businesses, things with a specific address. It's not just about check-ins, it's about finding great local businesses and also then sharing information around them. So, we've been around for a long time. Mobile represents, I think, the future of the company. We have 2.6 million active monthly users, not just downloads, but literally people checking. And the intensity of the usage is pretty phenomenal. So now we're driving north of 30% of total search traffic is coming from our LBS service. So it's really exciting, and I think marrying that up with this check in this location-aware stuff is going to be a fantastic way to drive local business. I think part of the challenge, of course, is knowing, okay, did people really go there, and how do you solve the gaming aspects? But you can get there through things like creating a check-in offer that is a discount. So when that discount's actually presented to the business owner, or if there's a barcode and you scan that with a point-of-sale system, that essentially is going to prove to that retailer that this thing is actually working, that it's driving business. And therefore, you can then create this whole cycle of ad spend, leading to people walking in the door, leading to cashing of offers, which gives you your ROI. You know that you're actually making a amount of sales with that advertising spend. So I think as that cycle completes, it's going to be a really exciting time.
Now, Groupon has really taken the local businesses by storm. You've added daily deals. Facebook has. I mean, is Shopkick going to end up doing that? Is every kind of location-based consumer service going to converge on sort of the same business models? And I'm going to walk into a store, check in on Foursquare, quick, Facebook, quick, Shopkick, just so I can get every reward coupon?
I think the short answer is
yes.
We're coming from the large retailer angle because we are building large partnerships. So we said we want to create a rewards program that is so simple that you can earn everywhere, you can spend everywhere. And so we signed up Best Buy as the first partner. And Macy's and American Eagle and Sports Authority and Simon Malls, the largest mall operator, and yesterday Target and today Westfield. So we're building an alliance. And now thinking about the small businesses, that would be great to have. The faster scale is the large players first. And Yelp has done an unbelievable job getting the local businesses to the table. But we started with the large retailers so far.
I think there's going to be another angle here that goes beyond just deals. It's about learning more about customers in their own stores as well, and using location technology, and not just a check-in, for instance. Location technology means so much more than just a check-in, obviously. But for instance, using a combination of a bunch of different location things like weather. Weather is inherently location-based, right? Because it's where I'm standing, whatever the weather is. And things like communication near a particular location, so Twitter and all these things. If you start combining all these sources of data, then you start being able to extrapolate certain kinds of information. So, correlating sales data against all the rest of these trends. If I were to take, a Starbucks as an example, and I notice in a particular area that based on trends, all of these Starbucks are doing really well, but man, that one on this corner is not doing very well today. And using some of this location-aware technology, I can start to understand maybe why. Maybe the weather was really crappy that day in that particular area. Maybe somebody tweeted on Starbucks that the barista was smiling that particular day. So I can start to learn these little tidbits of information that by looking at the world as a whole and having a coordinate attached to each one of these data points, it can completely change business analytics and the way that I can understand my business. So it's both on the front end, when I walk into the store and buy something, but it's also on the back end. What happens after that purchase is made, and what can I learn from that purchase?
How do you think, let's just talk about some of the elephants in the room, or maybe they aren't in the room right now, but Facebook just launched their Places API, they've launched check-ins, they've launched daily deals. How does Facebook entering this market affect things? You're partnering with them, Jeremy.
They've exposed their data via API, and it's a two-way API. So when you check in on Yelp, you can push that to Facebook, and it goes into their Places system, and vice versa. If you now check in via Facebook, that gets pulled into the Yelp app, and you can see what your Facebook friends are, even if they're not checking in to Yelp. I think it's a natural for them. They have a great presence on the mobile device, and it's easy, obviously, to get someone's location. It's easy to get the data of where what businesses are around. And so I think they'll continue to move in that direction. But at the end of the day, I think Facebook is really about connecting with people that you know, connecting with your friends, and communicating. And it's not necessarily focused application around the local search problem or what are the greatest businesses around me and so forth. So I would expect them to focus more on the social angle. But there is a fantastic ad opportunity for them, which I'm sure they'll take advantage as well.
Matt?
Facebook's a great example of taking an existing experience, adding one extra thing, which happens to be a location, creating a whole new experience around it. And I think that all of the incumbents in the room, the elephants, you say, the Googles of the world, the Facebooks of the world, all of these guys have been finding ways and angles to slightly manipulate their business models by just adding location. What's interesting to me is looking on this map. You have social as one bit, location as one bit, and payments as one bit. The truth is that just like the current existing world, when I'm existing in the United States, I can still go get my Italian food. So what's going to happen is you're going to see the social network world start to have bits of location and payments and all these things. And it's not going to be, the location is not going to be exclusive to location-based services. We're going to see, like with Facebook, location-aware services. Like they just become location-aware. There's just location added as a component of it. So that's sort of the future that I see, which is just there's a new layer. We have social as a layer that Facebook introduced across the entire web and apps and all these things. Location is the next layer that gets on top of the rest of it.
And where do you guys see Google affecting things in the future? Are your interactions going to be with Google's Places, Maps, Latitude, potentially?
I think that both Facebook and Google are actually kind of two great outfits. Because yesterday, Mark Zuckerberg said that something is missing on the map, which is the uncharted territory. And with the social elements, and with NFC, Eric Schmidt announcing NFC, which I thought was awesome. If you combine those and you bring that together into new application layers, new services for the consumer, that's when it gets really exciting. And if the social graph can help, and NFC can help, and blockchain technologies can help, then there's one result in the end if we do it right, which is that the consumer is for the first time meeting the author, which is exactly what should be. That's what commerce should be. And if you think about the web of the future and online, all of us obviously in this room are in the online world, I would say that the future of online is an offline. Because that's exactly where it has been missing. That's the next big frontier, and that's that sharp territory.
So Matt, your business is all based around helping basically developers add location. What are the pain points for them right now? They're making a product, like what do they need help with?
They need, they need the oil, they need the lubrication layer that gets them in, and they can get just whatever they need. The GPS side of things is done. We figured that out. So 5 years ago, that was the biggest challenge. Like, how do we locate something? Well, we're past that now. And now that we have that taken care of, we provide a solution that means that they don't have to even think about the math that's required to be able to take one point, correlate it with another point, and figure out the distance between the two. All that's taken care of. So by providing this sort of API that can mean that anything that I need to do with location is just essentially solved. And even if it's not just us, even if there's us in combination with Facebook taking the social angle and Google taking the big data angle, by combining these solutions, developers now have at their disposal an incredible amount of tools that whatever they can think of for location can be done. Now the challenge right now isn't in that the tools exist. The tools are there ready to go. It's that our imaginations currently are kind of captured by this check-in. Everybody is getting involved in check-in, even Yelp is seeing there's some really cool stuff being done with the check-in and things that you're able to do, beyond the reviews and stuff like that. So the check-in is an important thing, but getting beyond the check-in is even more important, where it's like location becomes just something that is embedded in every application. So now that we have the tools available, we can get to that point, but now it's what our imagination is limited to. What can we think of? What can we create that is part of location? And I think that's the biggest challenge right now. It's not the technology. It's our own limited imaginations. Like there are so many things that can be done. It's now what can we do?
All right. Any parting thoughts before we let everyone go to lunch?
Everybody wants food.
Okay. Well, thank you all very much for joining us today.